Hey everybody, how are you doing? This is Kirsten here. Thank you so much for watching this episode on YouTube or listening to Apple Podcast or Spotify. So this is a Better Way with Kirsten Kimura podcast. And if you are watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. If you're listening to it on Apple Podcast or Spotify, please leave me a 5-star rating and a review and share this podcast with your friends and family as well. This is really something that I would really very much appreciate if you could do because it helps the podcast to grow. It is hard for me to get the word out about it just by myself. So I really could use your help. So thank you so much in advance already. Now, the other thing before we dive into today's topic is this. If you're not a member of my Fit and Fuel Facebook group yet, I really encourage that you join us because we are having a lot of fun there. Lately, I've been doing a lot of mobility and stretching videos. Right now, we have their 10 days of 10,000 steps challenge going on. So this is literally what it sounds like. For 10 days, we're taking 10,000 steps every day. We're going to post a picture of our Fitbit or Oura Ring or pedometer data in the group. I'm going to give everybody the points, and also the winner is going to get an Amazon gift card and 3-month free use of my Train to Build workout program. So good stuff going on. Not too long ago, I did another challenge with a bigger prize. So it is definitely worth joining the group. It's completely free. All the things that we do there are free. So make sure that you join that group. Today, I wanted to share with you a couple of ideas, a couple of tools that may seem a bit controversial that I use actually in my work with my clients, with those clients who have a weight loss and fat loss goal. And these two tools that I'm going to share with you today at first sound like you're nuts, right? I've never heard anybody to do these things. Why would you do these things? And I'm going to tell you why. So first, one of the things has to do with nutrition and the other one with strength training. Of course, these are two main methods that I work with when I work with my clients. So typically my clients come to me because they want to change their body composition. They want to lose their body fat, and they want to also lose body weight, although that many of them already know, if they have been following me regularly, that weight loss, fat loss aren't always the same thing. You can actually change your body composition without seeing a big change in your weight. But of course, those who are overweight, they will of course lose weight too. So strength training and nutrition are the two main ways that I'm working with my clients. And now, talking about these two seemingly counterintuitive ideas, what are the things that I'm doing then that sound like this is super weird? So the first thing is this: when somebody goes into a calorie deficit, let's say that I have figured out that they are ready for a calorie deficit. So you already know that you have to be ready for a deficit before you can dive in, and so before you can do it, we want to make sure that you're eating enough. Okay, let's say that we have identified that you are eating enough, and now we can create a calorie deficit. Now, if I see that the person is starting to lose weight very fast, then what I'm going to do, and this is where the weird part comes in, I'm actually going to raise their calories a little bit. And that can sound like, what the hell is this? Because don't you want your clients to lose weight? Of course I do, because that's what they came to me for. But if the weight loss is too fast, then we can see, can we put some calories back in and still get the results that we want to get? Because it is totally possible. If the body is very healthy metabolically, then we may not cut as much as I maybe initially thought. So what it helps to do is it keeps metabolism healthier. So if you can keep the calories higher, this is what we're going to do. You are less likely to experience plateaus, or if you do experience plateaus, then you can get through them faster if your calories are higher. Of course, you're going to be sticking with your plan better because your calories are not going to be ridiculously low. They will be higher. If I can raise them, I raise them. And you don't have to do anything crazy like 1,200, 1,300 calories a day or something like this. So you are just more likely to stick with your plan, and you are going to feel a lot better. If you understood what it does to your metabolism for you, when you lose 5 pounds a week, like what might happen on those quick fixed diets sometimes, you would actually not want that, because losing so much so quickly will actually put your metabolism under tremendous stress, right? Your adrenals will suffer, your thyroid will over time start to suffer, your metabolic rate will go down, which means that, okay, we took out like a chunk of calories, now we hit a plateau, Now we have to cut more because you are so adapted already. So we have to keep cutting and cutting. And if you're already super low, there's not much room to cut anymore, right? And this is why I'm telling you that I'm always trying to get you the result by cutting as little as possible. Now, sometimes we may have to cut more, right? But if I see that the weight started coming down relatively quickly and a lot, right? Then we can put some calories back in. And I've done that several times, and the person is still losing weight and the pace is still normal. So now what is the normal weight loss pace? It depends on what your starting weight was, how large or small you are. But generally speaking, a good weight loss rate is about half a pound to 2 pounds a week. Somebody who's larger is going to be more like 2 pounds a week, and then somebody who's smaller is going to be half a pound a week. In general, it's not linear, although I have had a couple of clients for whom it has been linear, but it is rare. It is rare. So I don't want you to think, okay, it has to be me. More often than not, what I see is like drop, and then we stay steady for a couple of weeks, and then there's another drop. Sometimes we go up a little bit, but of course the total trend is down, right? You should be losing. But yes, about half a pound to 2 pounds a week is really good pace. And now when you see these like crazy diets that are like, yeah, 4 or 5 pounds a week, this is not what you want. And these diets have actually done a lot of damage because they have set people's expectations in the very unhealthy way. So, for example, now they come to me or go to another coach who is doing it responsibly, and they're seeing, oh my God, I'm only losing a pound a week. This is so slow. Let me tell you, it's not slow at all. It's just the expectation, the wrong expectation that you learn from these previous quick fix diets, that your weight should come down super, super fast. Now, it was fun, right? It was great. It was like, oh, yes, like 5 pounds down this week. Now, my next question is, did it last? Were you able to sustain it? And the answer is no, because otherwise you wouldn't have to do it all over again, right? So at some point you hit a plateau. At some point you got very frustrated. At some point you were super hungry and you were just like, fuck it, I'm going to throw in a towel. I'm not going to do it anymore. So if you are somebody who has done these diets, check your expectations and understand that the expectations from previous diets are what's messing with you right now if you're expecting your weight loss to be very fast, because it does not have to be very fast. And also remember, how did you get there? How did you lose that 5 pounds a week? Well, you probably ate 1,200 calories. And when you come back to what I just said, my first kind of like counterintuitive tool is to have you eat as much as you can. You see that what you did previously on those diets was not healthy, was not sustainable, and didn't keep the weight off. Um, and this is not what we want to repeat again. So why don't we this time take a different approach? We go into a mild calorie deficit. If your weight starts coming down super quick, we're gonna add some calories back in, see if you can still keep losing. And this is how it is. Again, very important to work with a coach so that she can do the adjustments for you, because I can't tell you how many women would benefit from this approach compared to what they do right now, which is like slashing their thousands calories down quickly, getting results initially, and then not getting results anymore. Just there's so many people out there whose metabolisms are complete wreck because of like years and years of the same pattern, right? So I really want you to learn now, do it differently, and approach this with patience. Okay, so this was the first thing when it comes to nutrition. Sometimes adding some calories back in will actually serve you better in the long run. The second thing that is counterintuitive is that you have to find a good sweet spot with your training, and more is not always better. So when I say more is not always better, I'm saying this because a lot of people have this logic. Okay, these workouts, I did 3 workouts a week. Great, I get great results. So why don't I do 6? I'm gonna get better results. Or why don't I add in like 2 high-intensity interval training sessions, because that's gonna burn more calories. Now the idea here is that the more I do, the better I get. But if we don't take into account your recovery, then this is not true. It doesn't apply here. We are not looking at the most amount of workouts that you can do. This doesn't matter. What matters is, what is a sweet spot between your workouts and your recovery rate? Where are we getting the best results there? And in my opinion, in my experience, for most people, it tends to be around 3 workouts a week. 45 minutes to an hour. This is on average, but this is not everybody because people have different life demands, different stressors, and some people might actually do better with a little bit less. Some people might, maybe they can sprinkle in a little bit more, but in general, I see that this is not necessary. So a lot of people can actually, not a lot, but some people can do less. And this is, or need to do less in order to get better results. Let's put it this way. They actually need to do less in order to get better results. Because if they have a lot of stuff going on, then 3 1-hour workouts for some people, if they don't recover well, this is not going to serve them too well. So I'm not going to add this person, let's say they're a little bit stuck. I'm not going to add maybe more workouts if I know that their stress is high, right? If I know, if they tell me that they have this and that happened, and third thing, they don't sleep and like stuff is really hard right now, then I'm not going to throw in another workout. Let's push your body more, because where's the recovery then? So in this case, what may actually be better is to reduce the volume a little bit sometimes, or take out one workout day, or make it lighter, or do some sort of adjustment like that, and lean more like towards, okay, let's do less, because you are in the season in your life right now where it's not appropriate to throw more workouts at you, let alone that high intensity stuff that a lot of people are so in love with, and it's not serving them at all. Some people can do it. This is a bigger topic. Not everybody can do it. So if you're honest with it, like, are you recovering so well? Are you like experiencing like great energy all the time, great sleep? You have this like intense, like, oh, you feel like really good, and your libido is fire, and your periods are awesome, and everything is great. Well, then, yeah, maybe a little bit of high intensity will be fine, but this is not most people. So they don't need, if they're already struggling, they're already stuck, they probably don't need to add that high stress training on top of what they are already doing. So recently, I've had actually 3 clients who have told me that, okay, I have so many things going on in my life right now. My stress is high, and I just don't feel like that I get much downtime. And what we've done with all 3 is that we reduced their workouts a little bit. So we actually went from 3 1-hour workouts to 3 4 30 to 40 minute, 3 4 30-minute workouts, right? So we actually took it down a little bit. We gave them a little bit more rest and recovery time. With my 3rd client, I did a little bit differently, so that she can actually take 1 extra day off from the gym. So anyways, there are ways to modify and adjust that, but it always have to be decided based on how the person is recovering, how they're feeling. So my point here is that more is not always better. A better recovery is better, right? This is where you get results, because if you push yourself super hard, you're going to also create the situation where you're constantly flooded with tons of information, because you're just not able to deal with the stress. And when you have a lot of inflammation, you have a lot of water retention, then the scale weight is not going down. You have this like puffy feeling. Your hormones are talking to you, and not in a nice way. You're going to feel it, right? So it's not really a good idea to throw more stress on top of stress, on the stress in this situation. Okay. So sometimes, like I said, less is more. Now, I'm obviously not talking to those people who are having a hard time uh, stringing together 2 weeks of like consistent workouts. They can't go to the gym 2 weeks in a row, like three days each week. They're just like, I never do it. I just can't do it. I come, this and that, a third thing comes up. I'm not able to. So these people who are probably already very inconsistent, I can't tell them that, okay, we're going to reduce our workouts because you're already not doing anything. So this is not for those people. This advice is more for those people who are more like, I'm doing all the things. I'm pretty consistent with everything. And I just feel like a little bit stuck, a little bit more tired. What can we adjust here? And in this case, throwing more workouts on top of what you're doing is really not the answer. So these are my 2 tips today. Sometimes you can actually eat more than you thought in order to lose weight. It is possible. And sometimes also taking some of the workout stress down will actually help you bust through that plateau as well. But really, this is again something where it is helpful to work with a coach and see, like they can help you see, okay, what are the reasons? How can we shift things? And of course, if you are by yourself, you're working with somebody, what you have to do is you have to get really honest with yourself and ask yourself, is this putting more stress on me? Do I really need to do more at the moment, or do I actually need to sleep more and get more rest time? You have to be honest with yourself. If you don't have that, somebody checking in on you and asking how you're doing and making these adjustments for you, you have to become like your own detective and see, okay, where is my sweet spot, where I'm getting the best results. All right, this is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you again in the next episode. Take care.